Hello and welcome to the 13th day of February 2022. I'm Kurt and this is my Good Life Meditation. So I'm going to review my objectives and principles and see how I did applying those yesterday and plan for today. Last night was a good night. I went to bed right around 9 and woke up at the alarm with Venus was there nice and high in the sky. So I didn't get up early. I didn't expect that because this week's going to be a serious one this week at work. So usually serious weeks demand insomnia on my part. So that's good that I slept last night. Had a good day yesterday. I spent the day cleaning. Well, actually, I did most of the cleaning on Friday. I did a little bit of cleaning downstairs. That's right. And then I spent pretty much most of the day right here reading. And pause for a second. And what a good use of time. I really enjoyed that. And then Yumiko and I went shopping in Temecula. We had our lunch together. And then we came back and had dinner. And like I said, off to bed. Nothing really stands out as a challenge yesterday. Just a good day. Now today is another day off. Yumiko and I need to make our trip down to Irvine. What was it Emily said? What struck Yumiko and I? We're adjusting to this new world here. You know, Yumiko and I have always lived within a short distance of the ocean ever since we met and all of our life together. Usually within, you could get to the ocean in 5 minutes or less from almost everywhere we've ever lived. Shizuoka in Yara, when we lived there, that might have been, in fact, not 5 minutes, more like 8 to 10 minutes probably. Big deal. Anyway, the main thing is that our theme has always been we wanted to live in the marine layer, wherever we lived needed to be the air, the atmosphere that came from the ocean. So living here in the desert isn't something new for us, although I certainly love the desert. Emily said something Friday night as she went down to Irvine. She told her mother in Japanese that she's going home to Irvine. I don't know if that was I think she must have meant it deliberately, which probably means that Irvine feels more like home to her. And Yumiko and I were talking about it yesterday. The same is true for us. It's been about more than 2 months now, 2.5 months, and maybe it might take more time, but this desert living hasn't quite grown on us. It'll probably take more time, or maybe it won't happen. Maybe we'll just be here for a couple of years, and then off we go back to the coast. We'll see. It certainly isn't a bad life. We are all dearly enjoying this home, including Emily. But it does feel like, and I'm stepping around it. It's not. It's the community. It's a different flavor of community along the coast than it is out here. That's what we miss. I'll just leave it at that. All right, let's do my Good Life Meditation. 7 objectives and 30 principles. 1, to be always ready to die. 2, to make good and effective use of time. 3, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles. 4, to cultivate good emotional reactions. 5, to perform good actions. 6, to recognize true limits and true opportunity. And 7, to do just one thing at a time and to do that thing slowly. I've decided to go fast. I've realized I should have taken my allergy medicine. And that's another thing about the desert air, these allergies. And I'm afraid I'm going to start sneezing. So I'm going to just kind of get this through. And look at my eyes, man. Look at these eyes. Okay, those are my 7 objectives. Now my 30 principles. Lightning edition. 1, the principle of war. To always be fighting with what I think is true. 2, the principle of reason and the sub-principles of honesty, objectivity, and doubt, which I use to execute that war. 3, the homunculus, the idea of a little mortal who is living inside my head. Speaking of a little homunculus, that guy this morning was looking the other way. He had his head turned that way. 4, I must have bumped him. That's what I'll tell myself. 4, the Anchorhold, the place where the homunculus lives and dies. 5, the home of good and evil, the catalog of right and wrong that lives inside my head, or that live inside my head, that I've written inside my head. See, it kind of falls apart when I do this quickly. Yet I will maintain. Then purpose is the next principle. And then my sub-purposes are to be a family man, to raise my child, to be live virtuously, and then to pursue my mission, which is the sharing of the good life. Atomic principle is next. Everything is made of bits and pieces. Then the principle of nature. Everything has some particular nature. Oh, I know why I'm feeling so like this got me, because I left a little crack the windows open last night, so all that desert air came in. That's why, because that's really got me now. And then the pirate ride, free will being an illusion. And then maturity, and the sub-principles of wisdom and fortitude. And then the social principle, we need other human beings. And then public speaking, to use my words carefully and to never gossip. And then temperance, and the sub-principles of suffering, simplicity, and apathy. And then the horror show, the acknowledgement of all the pain that's going on all around me. And then the principle called that which must be borne, the recognition of the things that I have to bear as a member of society and as an adult, including the fact of the horror show. And then the Feast of Offal, all the waste and byproduct that comes out of my head as a result of my poor or ineffective processing inside my mind about life. And then distraction. I distract myself by all kinds of different ways. Including reading, so that I don't have to see the awful great indifference, which is the next principle that pervades the universe. The void, as Lucretius would call it. And then the best seat in the house, do not want to be anyone else or be anywhere else or be doing anything else, but to be okay with who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing right now. Then the path of wildness, a way upward and forward into new life. Then the risk of avoiding risk, surface level risk of life, all the things that we're supposed to do, get a job, have gone to school in the reverse order. find someone to go settle down with, marry, buy a house, have kids, etc., etc. And then the deep risk of not finding ourselves, or not even trying to find ourselves, and dying having never been found, so to speak. And then the sin and damnation. My sins are falsity, credulity, faith, superstition, dogma, authority, and hope, and risk. No, gossip. Those are the risks. The consequences is damnation in the here and now. Complete oblivion. I don't think there's anything to follow after life. So pursue good living now, because there won't be any good living when we're dead. Because there won't be any living at all. And then the great life adventure. One or more experiences that really sum up our life, that help us to define ourselves. The season of philosophy, a time to record what we've learned along the way. The bullseye aim, striking for the mark but usually missing. The uphill climb, steady, steady, up we go. Arena and utility. Life is an arena for the use of our principles to achieve our objectives. Nothing is enough. And the principle of fun, to remind myself to have a good time. All right, so those are my objectives. As for today, well, I already covered it for today. I think I'll leave it at that. Get my medicine. Start the day. Take care. Be safe, but not too safe.